that's just a cool picture of what's going on. So you can see here there's a very big amount of people in there involved in shooting at each other. Okay, so some statistics. So the armies were the French one and the Russian one. The French one was the part of La Grande Armée, and in the highest time included 823,500 people. Well, it didn't consist of Frenchmen that much. If you look at this, there's a big list of different nationalities that were in there. But during the battle, it was 134,000, about somewhere there. There's like a bunch of disputes between historians. What was the actual number? Because for some reason
We weren't there to actually count.
And even the people that were there were like lying about it for some reason. So that's just like the illustration of the whole army.
Cool.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, there is. And like Russian side had about the same amount of people, but like about 100 more cannons, which did pretty much nothing because the whole Russian army was like on the right somewhere. That's just the uniforms. So the tactics back then, people walked in a straight line in 3 rows, and then stopped, aimed, and shot each other. Their guns were really bad. That's why there is a big chance you will miss, even if there's like a straight line of people in front of you. And like against cavalry, they just formed squares because horses could not physically ride into the square. And that's how it pretty much looked like. So pretty much walk. And lots of people died. So just because of this tactic. And that's the square. So as you see here, at the bottom, people point their spears at the horsemen, and the horses don't really seem to go in the square because they're afraid of steel. And those people can just indiscriminately shoot the people on the horses. It's pretty neat.
The horses were smarter than the people.
So it happened 7th of September, and that's how it looked like. So you see Napoleon just kind of came from the side instead of here. And the commander of the Russian army his thing was to protect the Moscow, and that's why he put there's like a road here and there. That's why he protected both of them. So Napoleon saw that and first took this little reduce here, and then just kind of positioned all of his army in a big field in front of the Russian. And this pretty much says what I just said. So that day, Napoleon pretty much, so these are like flèches. It's like a defensive earthwork. And so Napoleon sent his armies on these things, on the left flank, thinking he'll overtake the Russians and like rout them. So most of the time you pretty much routed the enemy instead of killing them. That's when you kill them. So Napoleon's pretty good mode because he chased the Russian army from the border to Moscow because they didn't want to give him a fair fight because their armies were like much smaller. And he started out with like 800 something people, but ended up with like 20 something thousand at the end of this. So this is like a flèche, what I told you about. You put cannons on this thing, and they're protected somewhat against enemy artillery. So,
Keep going.
As the new day was about to begin, the Napoleon positioned all of his artillery right in front of it, the earthworks, and he started bombarding the flèches that I showed you earlier. And they were pretty much destroyed, because think about this, hundreds of cannons firing in the same place, like 100 feet away. So
They got their aim good though, at
it's
least.
pretty bad. And there was 45,000 infantry and cavalrymen with a total of 400 cannons. So it's even more than that. And so the person in charge of defending the thing decided to counterattack because if you just stay there, they'll just get killed because the cannons just shoot at them. And initially it went well, and they routed like 2 or 3 divisions, but the person got wounded, and that's why the whole army ran.
Prince Bagratión.
Yeah.
I
Bagration.
probably butchered that horribly.
It's Bagration, but yeah.
It
And so they fled
spelled like
backwards
Bagratión.
towards like another wall. They had like another bunch of earthworks there with cannons. And at the same time, French division captured like the village of Borodino to distract the main army. And afterwards they attacked the center. And that's just like the grand artillery, that's the tactic Napoleon used. He temporarily put lots and lots of cannons in one straight line and started shooting at people.
Those are awesome hats.
Yeah, the hats are pretty awesome.
More men in funny hats.
Yeah, and then funny trousers. And so like back then it was pretty different than people used
They
because
look fairly modern. The
And-
pants.
because
yeah.
the cannons. He was like an artillery general. Napoleon was because yeah, and that tactic was pretty much new because you can destroy the cannons with cavalry really quickly if you put it this way. So he pretty much was using cannons as like a gun. So he pointed something, shoot, and then just I guess I don't know.
Adequate explanation.
So what happened during this time? On the left flank, the center was also attacked by the French, and on the hill stood the battery of Lieutenant General Rayevsky. And originally I had 18 cannons and 7 infantry corps protecting it. And at that time, the 4th Corps under the Vice Monarch of Italy, Eugene Beauharnais, with 2 divisions from the 1st Corps under General Davout, attacked the thing, but it was repelled by the cannons and they pretty much ran away. Afterwards, the Prince Bagration called off the 7th Infantry Corps to aid him in the defense. And so there was only cannons there.
Went from 4,100 people
Yeah,
to
and the, like,
300.
And then this dude, the Vice Monarch, kind of attacked the place because he saw, oh, there's no one there, so he could attack it easily. And while he was attacking it, one regiment like actually captured the place, but it got chased off by cavalry. And in the beginning it had 4,100 people, and it was left with like 300 people that were pretty much running away at the time. And just illustrate what happened after like from 9 to 14 o'clock. So, but like the whole thing happened in one day, so it's pretty short. So French attacked here, here, there. Yeah, there. So in here they got repelled pretty fast because they couldn't cross the river. And so everywhere they're just, in the beginning they pretty much planned like lots of plans and stuff to win, but somehow none of the plans work and they pretty much just went face to face. So the ending, afterwards that battery that was in the previous slide was contested like 5 times. And Cossacks also attacked from the behind of the Napoleon's army to distract them. And because of that, Napoleon thought there was like a reinforcement of a really big cavalry group, because the Italians, when they got scared off, they super exaggerated the army that scared off them. So it was like thousands of cavalrymen just, so they didn't look as bad. And because of that, Napoleon thought, oh, they probably have a reinforcement, I probably should not attack. And that's why he retreated after the day. And at the same time, the Russians also retreated to Moscow. So both of them were like waiting, thought that each other was going to attack, but nothing really happened. So, and both sides thought they won because the Russians thought, oh, they retreated, so we won. And the French thought, oh, we captured the battlefield. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like some people till this day like think that either French or Russians won because it's pretty much a tie. And that's the Cossacks. There's like a special way of armies. It's in the
Okay, the Russians have far
steppes.
superior hats.
Yeah, it's like a special troops because people there, it's like voluntarily go into cavalry, and there's like things are a little different, and that's Italians. So conclusion: if you trust the bulletin of the Grand Army, which you shouldn't really trust because Napoleon over-exaggerated a lot. So like they captured like 100 people, and he said 10,000 prisoners captured. And so it was 45,000 people in casualties and 40 generals dead. The losses from the Russian side range from 25,000 to 42 something people, and about 100 generals. So just a comparison, if you compare that battle, one-day battle, to Antietam, it's like about 25 Antietam's in the same place.
Yeesh.
It's about 30 September 11th attacks at the same time.
Oh.
It's about 3 Gettysburgs and 50 Katrinas. And that's why this battle was the bloodiest battle of the whole Napoleonic Wars.
Cool.
So back then, people were really adept in killing each other. And that's just, yeah.
More pictures.
Dead people.
I really had to like search a lot for pictures.
This it? That the end?